What's up, everybody? In this video, we are going to go over how you can make your first 10K in high ticket drop shipping. What we're going to cover is number one, we're going to cover niche and product selection. We're going to cover supplier relationships. We're going to cover website design for conversions, ad strategy, customer service, mistakes to avoid, and then we'll also have the conclusion. All right. So for people who are new, what is high ticket drop shipping? So with high ticket drop shipping, you need fewer sales needed to hit same revenue, right? So if you've done any other form of drop shipping or e-commerce, you know that you need a lot of sales in order to make the money you want to make. With high ticket, it's in the name, so you don't need as many sales in order to get to your goal of however much money you want to make. And traffic, it comes from Google Ads. It doesn't come from anything else other than Google Ads. I mean, you can run like Snapchat ads, Bing ads, and things like that. But for the most part, you're going to be running Google Ads only. But you can run Facebook too if you want, and you can run Instagram. But that's when you start scaling. When you start scaling, you can do Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, video ads, and Snapchat ads, Bing ads, things like that. But 99% of that your revenue is going to come from Google Ads at first. Now, with high ticket drop shipping, you sell reputable brands that people already know. So you're selling brands like have been in the market for years, decades. So you're not selling like new products that no one's ever heard of. It's brands that people already know, like, and trust already. So it makes it easier to sell because they already have the reputation, So you're piggybacking off their reputation. That way, when you first make your store, it's way easier to get sales because people already know those brands. So if you become an authorized dealer for them, then they'll be like, oh, okay. And then they'll just buy from you. It's like if you put, Nike on your store or Adidas or something like that, and you say you're an authorized dealer, or if you sell a Ferrari and you're an authorized dealer for Ferrari, and then you put an ad for that Ferrari on, Car Gurus or something like that, people know Ferrari. So they're going to be like, oh, this guy has this Ferrari for this great price. Oh, I'm going to buy it from him. You know what I mean? Instead of you coming up with your own new car brand, right? No one knows your new car brand. So it's going to take way longer for you to get trust from the public. You know what I mean? And testimonials and things like that. And then it's higher profit per product. So ads aren't the constraint. Like I said, it's high ticket. So you could be selling a product for $4,000 and you could have let's say it's a 50% profit margin. Now you're making $2,000 profit. So, all right. So the price point the model runs on is $1,000 plus. So that's what I consider anything high ticket. Now everyone's different. Some people say high ticket is anything 500 or more. Me personally, I just say 1,000 or more. That's what I like to do, is anything 1,000 or more. Because if you have most suppliers that give you like a 20% to a 30% profit margin, depending on the supplier. So you can make off $1,000, you can make $200 profit off of $1,000 sale. You see what I'm saying? And yeah, one sale carries the ad spend. That low ticket needs dozens of sales to convert. So why is this stable long term? I believe this is the most sustainable way to do drop shipping and e-commerce. Well, I believe this is the most sustainable way to do drop shipping, right? So if you want to do drop shipping, I think number one, you're in the right place. Number two, I think this is the most sustainable long-term strategy. And the reason for that is, so it's built off real business relationships. It's built off real supplier relationships that are built on real business terms. The suppliers, like I said, have decades and decades of experience behind them. They've been in the business for decades, for years. So their reputation, like I said, does part of the selling for you. And then again, it's demand. So people need these products. So the products in high ticket, they have steady demand. So it's not like you're not chasing trends, right? So you're not chasing trends and saying, oh, this is selling now and it's hot. And then in 6 months or after you make 100K profit, then the product dies, right? So you're not chasing trends. If you made $100,000 in revenue last month off this supplier and this supplier's product, I can almost guarantee you 6 months from now, you're going to be making the same amount, if not more, because now your ads are dialed in, your search terms are dialed in, you've raised your bids. So it just compounds. And then a year later, you'll be selling that same product. When I had my business, I had products that were, big selling products for me, and they stayed big selling products the entire time I had the store before I sold it. All right, so let's go over the strategy. So number one, niche and product selection. This is gonna be the decision that sets your ceiling, right? So if you want to make your first 10K in dropshipping in high ticket, the niche is gonna be the first thing you want to look at. All right, so with niche, we want to pick niches that are not easily known, but the products still have high search volume. 9 times out of 10, the first niche that comes to your mind isn't the one. Skip the obvious niches. Don't do like fitness, home, outdoor patio. They're all competitive. You can do it if you have more money, to be honest, but it's going to be competitive. You're going to be spending more for like clicks, and your bid is going to have to be a lot higher. The money you spend is going to be a lot higher. And then also people are going to naturally, like the customers are going to, shop around basically. So they're going to see like, is this person giving a higher percentage discount than this person? Is this person giving a free gift, you know, and this person isn't? You know what I mean? And then if you want to generate ideas for niches, then you can go to ChatGPT. So you can literally just go chatgpt.com, and then you can say, give me 25 high ticket dropshipping niches with an average price point of $1,000 plus. And then it will populate. So you have home saunas, outdoor kitchens, and it gives you a whole list. So you can go through this list and you can figure out which niche would I like to go into, right? Now, you want to check seasonality, right? So you want your sales year round. So Google Trends will tell you in 30 seconds whether a niche disappears for 4 months of the year or not. You want to avoid anything that's seasonal, something that peaks hard then goes quiet, because then you have to carry ad spend and overhead through the dead months. You can lower your bids in the lower months. That way you're not spending as much and you'll still get sales. Like seasonal products still get sales in, in their down months, but it's just not going to be as consistent. You know what I mean? So you want to target year-round demand, a flat or climbing trend line, and then revenue you can plan against and scale into. All right. So you want to go broad with your niche, not narrow. If too narrow, for instance, let's say you want to sell paddle boards, right? I always give this example. That's one product type, right? So a paddle board is a product type. That's a type of product, is a paddle board. A surfboard is another product type. That's a type of surfboard. If you don't want to do a paddle board store where you're saying, okay, I checked paddle boards, the search volume on paddle boards is 70,000 per month. That's 70,000 people who are actively searching for this product type. I'm going to make a store on this and I'm going to scale this. Don't do that. You can still sell paddle boards, right? But instead of doing paddleboard store, do a water sports store, right? Do a water sports store. And this gives you room to pivot, right? Because if you sell this, a paddleboard store, if you do this and all you have is paddleboard suppliers, naturally, if you have paddleboard suppliers, they're probably going to have like a lot of other products in that niche 9 times out of 10, let's be honest. But if paddleboards don't sell, then there's nowhere to go, right? And then the brand name won't let you move. So if you're trying to sell paddleboards and you have 20 suppliers for paddleboards and that's all you have on your store and you're seeing that those aren't moving for you, well, now you're stuck, right? So you want to have a water sports store because it's a broad niche. So you want to be able to pivot. So if paddleboards don't sell, you can sell surfboards. If surfboards don't sell, you could sell any other product type that's in that niche, right? That has good search volume, right? So you want to give yourself as many products types as you can inside one coherent niche. This is very, very important if you want to hit your first 10K in high ticket dropshipping. Now, let's talk about search volume, right? So monthly searches, right? So this is for your product types, right? So you want to look at your search demand for your product types and your brands, but this is for product types. It's going to be a little different for brands because brands don't have as much search volume. But so for search volume for product types, for instance, like we said, paddle boards, you want monthly searches for the product type for the product types you think can work for you, right? So you want to get like like about 5 product types on your niche that you say, okay, I believe in these, right? So you want to get 5. You're going to have more than 5. You're going to have, hell, you can have hundreds, but you're going to have a lot. You can have, 50, 25, right, in a Google sheet, but you want to have a first 5 when you're picking your niche. You want a first 5 that you say, okay, these are the products I want to build my store around, and this is what I'm going to build my niche around. You want to make sure those 5 products have at least 20,000 plus monthly searches. This is where I've had the most success, anything 20,000 plus. The best success I've had with product types is like 50,000 plus, 70,000, 80,000 plus. 20,000 plus is like the lower end of where I've had success, right? So anything under 20,000, I'll still get sales, and you'll still get sales. But where I've seen the best results, in my opinion, in my journey, and what I've done is the more search volume, the better, right? So I've had product types with 70,000, 80,000, 100,000, 50,000. That's going to be the best. Once you see that in your for your product types, you're in the right direction for your niche. So yeah. And then so 20,000 plus is good. The more the better. 10,000 plus is still is also good. It's solid. You'll still get sales. And then 3,000 is workable. It's gonna have to have a lot less competition to make this. And then 100 to 200, it's too narrow. So it's not going to be enough demand. The only way this will make sense is if no one is selling that product type. You know what I mean? So like I said, in my experience, the more the better. But you can go lower when competition is lower because there's few competitors bidding. Usually this right here, this little realm of 10,000 to 3,000 is going to have lower competition usually. All right. So now we're going to talk about competitors, right? So whenever you're thinking about selling a brand, right? So this is for your brands. When you're thinking about selling a brand for your product type, so for instance, let's say paddle boards is the product type. The brand, let's say, is Water Nation, right? Let's make something up. Let's say the brand is Water Nation, right? Now, when you're searching for your brands that you want to reach out to for these product types, you always want to check competition to see how many competitors are selling that brand. So under 5 is ideal. This is like in a perfect world, right? Like in a perfect world, if you can get, excuse me, in a perfect world, if you can get under 5, in a perfect world, if you can get under 5, that is ideal, right? Because that's going to be cheaper clicks and it's going to be less price shopping. Customers aren't going to be able to really price shop around if it's under 5 people. They don't have as many to choose from, right? We're going to talk about map pricing and why competition isn't really a big deal when it comes to price. When it comes to price, competition isn't really a big deal in high ticket because in high ticket drop shipping, you have map pricing to where it's not a race to the bottom. So people can't undercut price. So if a supplier has a $4,000 price point MSRP and map pricing, they're not going to let you go under that. So when I say price shopping, what they're going to do is they're going to look like, okay, who has because you can, even with map pricing, you still can do a discount. So you can do a 5% discount or a 7% discount or a 3% discount on your store, as long as it's not showing in your Google shopping ad. So customers will price shop percentage discount on who's giving the biggest. Again, there's going to be a max on what your supplier will let you do. They're not going to let you say, oh, get 15% off. Like, that's crazy, right? So for the most part, it's going to be less price shopping. If you're in a more competitive niche and you have like 20 plus more competitors, then you might see competitors having an extra 5% discount. You just need to match that discount if you want to. You can still get sales without doing that. But yeah, though, it's less price shopping and under five. And when I say price shopping also, I mean just like calling less. They're not gonna call as many stores. They're not gonna go on as many stores to like check. Because if there's 20 plus competitors, we'll get to that. So 5 to 10 is okay. 5 to 10 is okay. Competitors. That's actually good too. For under five is ideal. 5 to 10 is good. 5 to 10 is good. It's that's still low. 10 to 20 is medium. Starting to get up to the high range. 10 to 15 is like medium, right? As it starts climbing towards 20, bids climb, and you need a clear reason to be chosen. And then 20 plus is high. If you're a beginner trying to make your first 10K, I would I would not do anything 20 plus. It's just not going to be good for you. I would stay away from this if you're a beginner. And to be honest, if you're a beginner, I would stay away from, I would do like, if you're a beginner, 10 to 15 is fine. As it starts to climb, I would stay away. Because again, if it's 20 different people they can choose from, it's just that many more stores they're going to be clicking on, going through, and things like that. And also look for no brand loyalty. You want to look for $1,000 price point, like I said, and map pricing is in place. So yeah, and map pricing, you'll know if they have map because every single price will be the same when you search up that brand and that product name for that brand. And you just ask the brand like, hey, do you have map? And then they'll tell you on the phone if they have map. Now, you want to compare, when you're thinking of your niches, you want to compare 10 niches in a Google sheet, right? So for instance, let's say the niche is in water sports, sauna, bathroom fixtures, and outdoor patio. Let's say the water sports niche, you see that there's 14 product types that you want to sell, and the best volume is 42,000. And then types of product types at that price point. How many product types are 20K plus searches or more is 3 in this niche. And then the competition you see for the brands are low. And then let's say for sauna and wellness, you see 9 product types. Best search volume is 210,000. There's 2 product types at 20K plus. And then the competition is medium. Bathroom fixtures is 11. Best volume, let's say, is 33,000. Types at how many product types at 20K plus? That's 2. Competition is medium. Outdoor patio, 16 product types, 90,000 is the best volume you found. Product types at 20K plus is 5 of them, and then competition is high. Now, if I was choosing a niche in this, I would probably pick between, so this is out. I wouldn't pick this one if I was a beginner because yeah, the volume is nice. Yeah, there's a lot of product types, and yeah, there's 5 at 20K plus, but the competition is high. Right now, if you're if you've had stores and you've been in high ticket and watching this, then you might be able to do this because if you have experience, you know what you're doing. But if you're brand new, I would pick either this one, sauna and wellness, or I would pick this one, right? Because this volume is more than this one. They have 3 product types, 20K plus. And it's low competition, right? And then this one is medium competition and it's 210, right? These are just like generic numbers, right? But I'm saying like, I'm trying to help you to where if you were to have your niches, I want you to know how you can pick which one to choose. So I would pick these top 2 right here based off of these numbers. I would pick one of these. And to be honest, if I was going to choose between these 2, I would choose this one, the very top, because of the low competition. And the volume is still good. And it has a lot of product types you can choose from. Right? So yeah, the point is comparison to just to see. Now, monthly searches for a term like infrared sauna. So like search volume is demand, right? So on Google Shopping, you are bidding for that exact term that people are searching for. So that's why monthly searches are important. It's just search volume is just demand at the end of the day. So use those words interchangeably. Search volume is demand. How many people per month are searching for that product, that type of product? Now let's talk about supplier relationships. Great suppliers equals great products, which equals great results. So why suppliers decide to store, Your products are what makes or breaks your store at the end of the day, and suppliers are where they come from. A supplier with real search volume carries your branded campaigns, right? So your branded campaign is going to house your brands. So having a good, brand demand, like I was saying before, that's going to carry your branded campaign. Now your product types, that's going to be in your unbranded campaign. Product types with great search demand, that's going to carry your unbranded campaign. That's why you want to check branded demand, and you want to check unbranded demand, because you want both your campaigns to be getting clicks, and you want to be able to scale both of them. When both have demand, both campaigns stay profitable, right? So if your brands have good demand and search volume, and your product types have really good search volume, well, now you have great demand on both campaigns, and you can scale that a lot higher. Now, you're gonna want to so in order to make your first 10K, you're gonna want to have, your suppliers, right? So you're gonna have to become a dealer. How do you become a dealer? It's easy. You just reach out to the suppliers and you ask to become a dealer, and they'll onboard you, and they'll let you sell their products. So it goes like this. Step one, you reach out to them. You type in the supplier name on Google. You go on their website, you call them, you ask to become a dealer, right? And then step three is they'll onboard you, they'll tell you what they need from you, and then they'll give you a price list, and you'll be able to sell their products and run ads. Now, like I said, we're gonna have two different campaigns. We're gonna have a branded campaign. This is for your brand, right? So if they search the brand, so if they type in something like Kohler, they know what they want. This is where suppliers' own search volume becomes your traffic, right? So this is for your branded demand. And then your unbranded campaigns are going to house your product types. For instance, Kohler is the brand. They sell bathtubs. So Kohler is in the branded campaign, and then bathtubs, generic term, is just in the unbranded. It's vague. It's earlier in the journey. So this is why product types need demand of their own. And then demand on both sides is what lets you scale both campaigns instead of one. Now, it's okay if, you search the brands that you want to sell, and you're saying, man, the branded demand isn't crazy, because your unbranded campaigns could still be your winning campaign. Usually you're gonna have one campaign that makes you the most money. It's just the way it is. Usually it's either gonna be your branded campaign or unbranded. I've seen both. I remember when I first started my store, my branded campaign was giving me all of my money. So I had a brand inside of that campaign. I think the search volume was like 500 plus. So like 500 is good for a branded demand, like 500 plus. I think that brand had like 500 and something. It's like 540 or something branded demand, and that made all my money in my store. And then eventually, as I got more and more suppliers, my unbranded campaign became the most profitable. And the unbranded campaign ended up being what made me the most money. So it just depends. Branded will still make me money, but this was the clear favorite. This was the clear winner. Now, MAP. That's what we talked about earlier. Minimum advertised price. This is the floor under the whole category. MAP is what stops a race to the bottom. So competing on trust and service actually pays, right? So no one can undercut each other, right? Every dealer has to advertise at or above the same price. Nobody can undercut you into a margin that doesn't work, right? So you can search up this in Google, and you'll see that this has map pricing. So I'll do that. Let's see what this is called. Dynamic Barcelona Sana. I think it's about golden designs. Yeah. So as you can see, Barcelona dynamic infrared sauna. Let's see. So yeah, as you can see, dynamic Barcelona infrared sauna, $18.99, $18.99, $18.99, $18.99. This person has it $100 more. But again, they're still in MAP pricing, because you just can't go under the price. I'm not sure why you would go over, but yeah. So it has MAP because everyone is at the same exact price for this product, right? Everyone's at the same price, so it has MAP pricing. Now, again, So this is important, right? This is very important. You want to always ask your supplier, do they have map pricing? The only time I think it's okay if they don't have map is if you see that competition number one is low, and then if you search up that supplier and the products, if you see that, oh, okay, they don't have map, but every single store that sells their products, they're not like driving the price super low. So if they give you the price list and you're saying, and it says like, okay, MSRP is $2,000. If you go and let's say let's say they give you a price list and the product MSRP is 2,000, and for easy numbers, let's say they charge you $1,000, right, for the product. So you'd make $1,000 profit. So that's your profit margin. If they don't have map, if you see that all the people selling the product, they have it at either $1,000 or like 19 or 18, it's like you'll still make like 800 based off of who the person who has it at the 1800, the lowest, right, at the floor. So then you could still sell it because at the end of the day, even though they don't have map, you still can put it for 1800 to match the competitor selling it for the lowest price, right? You might put 17.99, right, a dollar under, and then you still make money, right? You'll still make $799. So that's the only way you should do it if they don't have map. Now, if you see like, oh, this competitor right here, he doesn't care, he's selling it for $1,100 and only making $100. That's insane. That's when you're like, okay, I'm not selling this. I'm not selling this brand. And to be honest, a supplier is not even gonna let them do that. So like, even if a brand doesn't have map, they're not gonna let their suppliers put the price so low to where no one can compete with the price, and it's a race to the bottom, and it becomes horrible. Suppliers aren't even gonna let them do that. You could literally reach out to the supplier and say, hey, the profit margin is this. This guy right here is like tweaking. He has it at this price. Like, what is going on? That supplier is gonna reach out to that person and tell them like, yo, like, yo, your price is too low. You need to fix that. Right. Let's talk about website design. This is very important. This is very important. Now, in my school, down below in the description, I go over all of this fully in depth. I literally walk you through everything, literally everything. It's only $97 a month. That's like DoorDash in a day for some people. That's like DoorDash in 2 days for some people. In a month, some people's. I mean, in 2 days, people usually spend like $97 on DoorDash. Some people spend the $97 on one day on DoorDash. So, for the cost of DoorDash, man, 97 bucks a month, you can learn everything I'm teaching you. I literally go through my website design that made me $2.7 million in high ticket, and then I made 1.3 million in 1 year. So I made the 1.3 million in 1 year with this website that I show you in my school, and I literally walk through the entire thing on how I set it up, everything I put in it, where to put it. It's literally a carbon copy of the store. All right, it's just the niche is different. Right. So website design, and the reason I did that is because website design is very important. I want you to know how to make a website, a high quality website, so you can succeed. Because a lot of people will show you their tactics on drop shipping and like how to like make money with this stuff, but they won't show you the website. And the website is very important because that's your branding and that's what's going to convey the trust, right? Because on $1,000 plus purchase, the site is the only storefront they get, right? You're online. So they can't go inside of an actual store, right? Like, so if you were to go inside of a store and like things were everywhere, like there was no customer service, there was no person at the front to like check you out. If everything in the store there was no labels on the store, in the store on where you could find different things. If there was no sections, right? There was no women's section and men's section. In the men's section, the women's section were combined, dresses next to suits. You know what I mean? Like it'd just be insane. You'd be like, yo, what is going on? I don't know where to find anything. That's why I store it. That's why like it's important. You know, when you go on Walmart, it has the different things in the aisles on where everything is. If Walmart didn't have, oh, soap is in this aisle, water is in this aisle. If they took all that away and Walmart didn't put things in the sections and everything was by everything, the frozen food was next to the toilet paper, it's like you'd be like, yo, I'm never coming to the store again, right? Like you would walk out that store immediately. If it was junky and things all over the place and it was like you just wouldn't like it, right? So what buyers judge in seconds is branding, right? Does this look like a real company that will still be here next month, right? So you want them to know that you're a real company because, you know, You want them to know, yeah, I'm going to be around, right? They don't want to buy something and then if they have like a warranty claim or something that they need, they want to know you're still going to be there, right? To help them. Layout, you want to make sure they can find the product, like, right? The price and the answers to their questions. Colors, what feeling does the site give the customer before they read a word? And then speed, a slow site speed reads as a risk. On a high ticket order, risk loses the sale. Trust factors on every page. You want to have a phone number in 3 spots. You want to have email in 3 spots. You want to have your business hours. This says business hours you can have in 3 spots. But to be honest, business hours you can have in 1 spot. You can have it at the bottom. And then your address is optional. It's a nice to have, but it's not necessary, right? So you need these trust factors to make people feel safe. Repetition is the point, right? So if you're wondering, like, why do I need it in multiple spots? Because you might put your phone number at the top and people might not even see that. As soon as you don't know where people's eyes are looking. You don't know what they're doing while they're on their phone. So you could think like, oh, I'm just going to put my phone number at the top and it'll be fine. It might not be. You put your phone number at the top, they may not even see it. As soon as they get on your page, they might scroll. And as they're looking at your product and scrolling down to your description, they might be like, yo, I have a question on this product. Like, yo, where's the phone number? And they don't even realize they scroll past it. And then they're like, yo, I need to call them. Where's the phone number? They're just scrolling and they can't find the phone number and they just leave. You know what I mean? And you might say to yourself, well, why don't they just go to the contact page? This is what I need you to understand, right? I need you to understand this. I need you to understand that people are lazy, okay? People are lazy and people are not going to, and people are lazy, number one. And then some people don't have common sense. I know that sucks to say, but it's just is what it is. As you do business on the internet, you got to understand not everyone is tech savvy, number one, right? So it might be people who are in an older demographic who are on your store. They're not good with websites. They're not used to being on websites as much as you are, right? So you're used to saying, oh, let me go to the contact page. Oh, let me go here. They're not thinking that. They don't know, right? They don't know. Either they don't know or they don't care, right? So you want to put everything in front of them so it makes it easy for you. You don't want people to think. I can't stress that enough. I should have put that as the slide. You don't want people thinking. As soon as you got people thinking, you're messing up. All right. If you making your product page and you say to yourself, I'm not going to add that because that should be self-explanatory. No, add it. I'm telling you, add it. Anything that you think is common sense and you're like, oh, I'm not going to add that because it says it already. It's common sense. Like, oh, no, it's not common sense. Add it. I'm telling you, I know what I'm talking about. I know, I'm telling you. I make my product pages as like foolproof as possible, right? Like explaining everything, right? Even like the most simple things, just so there's no confusion. I'm telling you, it's very important. That's game right there, low key. 3 conversion levers, offer, right? So these things will up your conversion rate. So except the last one. Well, actually, the last one will too, but that one is. We'll talk about it. So an offer, a discount, right? 3 conversion levers. Something as small as see, like for instance, me explaining this to you, to me, seems like common sense. It seems like common sense that these things will up your conversion rate. But someone may be watching this saying, well, how in the hell will these up my conversion rate? So I got to explain it. You know what I mean? If I just say, yeah, look, read this, and then go to the next slide, it's like, you know what I mean? Somebody might not understand. Right. So look, 3 conversion levers, offer, right? So a discount will up your conversion rate, right? Something as small as a 5% will lift your conversion rate. Why will this up your conversion rate? Well, because if you give someone a discount, let's say all your competitors, you're all selling the same product, right? And let's say your profit margin is 25% on that product you guys are all selling from this brand. If no one's offering a discount, you could offer a little 5%. That's going to incentivize them to purchase with you. Right? A free gift. This is worth adding when the product is competitive, like I said before, and the price is fixed by map. A free gift. It's not scary at all. It's just an accessory. So your products, all your suppliers will have price lists, and they'll have little small accessories that are like $5, $10, real cheap accessories. Some may be like 10, 20, and you can add those little accessories as a free gift to let them know, like, hey, get a free gift, get this free gift, explain what the free gift is, and when you buy this product. And then answering your phone. This is gonna beat most of your competition because most of your competition is not gonna pick up their phone. Most of your competition is either number one, they're not gonna pick their phone up. Number two, they're gonna have AI do it. Number three, they're probably gonna have something automated, or they're gonna have a VA that doesn't speak English. It's gonna be a VA that like has an like a really thick accent that people can't really understand them. You know what I mean? By the way, if you do a VA, make sure it's someone that like they can be from another country, but make sure they send you like a recording of how they sound. That way you can like filter out the VAs, so you can pick someone with like the best American accent. But yeah, answer your phone. It's very important. Um, a store. So how you want your store to look? Um, you want to make sure. So this is a store called Recovery for Athletes. They have been in the high ticket game for a very long time. This is a very, very successful store. We can actually go to this store and we can look at it. All right. So this is the store. All right. So as you see, when you first get on the store, they have their little logo, unlocks an exclusive discount on your next order this summer. Bam, you can put your email in. Now they can capture your email and they'll send you a discount. That actually works very, very well. As you can see in their pop-up, they have their live chat right here. This is important. You need to make sure you have a live chat as well. I should have added that to this PowerPoint. I apologize. But you also want to have your live chat. You can use Tidio. It's Tidio. You want to have that. That way you can do this and people can chat with you, right? And then bam, you can click this and then you can enter a message and then you can send it and then a live person will answer it. You know what I mean? So that's important. That'll increase conversion rate too because they know you have someone live ready to help. They have their phone number up here, they have their email, and they have their hours. And then this is their homepage. I'm not going to go through all of this; it's going to take too long. But I'll go to a product page, right? So this is their product page. So as you can see, they have their phone number in one spot up here. They have their phone number too, and then they have their phone number. I guarantee it's at the bottom. I'm wrong. So they have it in two spots. I don't know why they don't have it down here, but they have their phone number in two spots, right? So you want to have it in multiple. I say three spots, top, middle, like this, and then bottom. I've never seen a store that just doesn't have phone numbers at the bottom. That's kind of crazy. They have their contact us button, but they have it in two spots, so they're doing well. And then they have their code right above the add to cart, which is what I also teach. You want to have it right next to the add to cart. That way, they see the price, they see the name of the product, the reviews for trust, the price, and then they're like, but wait, take some money off this. You know what I mean? And then they have their free and fast shipping. They're showing in stock and ready to ship, lowest price guaranteed. So people know, hey, just stay on this store because we do have the lowest price. They're letting people know that they're an authorized dealer. And then questions, right? So this is where the purchasing decision happens. So all of these questions people are asking in their head, can I trust these people? Yes, you can. We're an authorized dealer. We also have 36 reviews. Is this the lowest price I can get? Yes. What's the shipping? Free and fast. Usually what right here, I would have the actual shipping time right here. I wouldn't just say free and fast because this is vague. What does this even mean? And then questions, call a recovery for athletes team member, because if someone may be on the product page and saying, yo, I want to buy this, I have questions, bam, call us. I wonder if this click to call. It's not click to call. Also make this click to call, right? I wonder if it is on mobile. Let me see. All right, let me see if it's click to call on mobile. I don't think it is. No, it's not. So you can make your link click to call. That way, if they're on a mobile device, they can just click this little number and it'll call you right away without them having to actually like have friction and type it in themselves. But yeah, this is pretty much what a good product page looks like. You can copy them. They're successful. Um, and I'll also teach, like I said, in my school, how to make this even better. But yep. Ad strategy. Two campaigns, branded and unbranded. We already talked about it, but I want to go in depth so you understand. Branded, it's going to have your branded search terms. For instance, Kohler's a brand, American Standard is a brand, and Sterling is a brand, and they sell bathtubs, bathroom sinks, and mirrors. You want to look at traffic, right? So traffic is this is your hot traffic, your branded campaign. So hot traffic, all that means is people they're like further in the buying cycle. So your branded camp. So for instance, if someone wants a bathtub, right? If someone wants a bathtub, they know they want a bathtub. They know they want a sink. They know they want a mirror, but they don't even know what kind of mirror, what kind of bathtub they want yet. They don't even know like what brand they're gonna buy it from yet, right? So that's why unbranded is colder. It's a colder audience because they're earlier in the buying cycle. They type in bathtub in Google, they don't really know what they want. But as soon as they type in Kohler bathtub, right? So if they type in Kohler bathtub, right, that's hotter traffic because they know they want a bathtub and they know they want it to be Kohler, right? And in your branded campaign is also going to have the name, right? So if Kohler sells a bathtub called the the wand, right? The wand bathtub, that'll also be in your branded campaign. So you'll see in your search terms it'll say Kohler wand or Kohler wand bathtub, right? They know they want Kohler, they know they want a bathtub, and they know they want the wand bathtub. You know what I mean? So they know what they want already. So if they hit your website and you as a search term and they go on your branded campaign on your website, they're more than likely going to buy. You know what I mean? They're more than likely to buy because they already know what they want. If someone just search bathtub and you get a click for bathtub, they're just kind of researching still. They're still in the research phase, so they don't even know if that's the one they want. They may go in 100 different stores. You know what I mean? So you bid normally higher, you spend more in this campaign for just because again, hotter traffic, and then you bid lower in this campaign. All right. So how to spend and scale. Number one, unbranded can outperform branded. It depends on your store and your niche. You want to spend evenly across both campaigns to start. So don't say, oh, because I heard branded campaigns make more money, I'm gonna spend $100 a day in my branded campaign, and I'm gonna spend 10 in my unbranded. Don't do that at the start because you don't know what's gonna work for you. So if your budget is $50, you want to put it in a shared budget, right? So you can put it in a shared budget on Google. Again, I walked through that in my school. I can make a video on that as well. You put it in a shared budget. The shared budget will be $50, and then it'll go for those two campaigns. So it'll spend evenly 25 on each, right? So you want to spend evenly on all of your campaigns and in all of your brands and product types for those brands. So you'll have your brand, and then under that will be the products, right? So you want to spend evenly across all the brands in the campaign, and you want to spend evenly across all the products in that brand, just so you know what works. Because you don't want 10 of your products getting 0 clicks and spending $0, because those may be the ones that end up working for you. The ones spending the money might not be the ones working. So you want to give everything a chance to work. And then what you want to do is you want to increase bids on what works. You want to increase your bids on the products that are working for you, and the ones that aren't working, you can lower the bids. You know what I mean? Now, customer service. Good customer service equals long-term success. So the window for answering an email is 12 to 24 hours. Phone, you want to answer immediately. If you're busy, they'll leave a voicemail and you can call them back. So the whole job is just to answer the phone. If you're busy, like I said, they'll leave a voicemail and you can call them back same day. Again, answer emails within 12 to 24 hours. It's simple, but it works. Mistakes to avoid, and this is what I wish someone would have told me, is the checklist, right? So I say don't sell back ordered products, but I'm gonna be honest, if you're a beginner, it's okay to sell back ordered products. Just make sure you call your customer. So if you have products that are back ordered, that's fine. Just make sure you call the customer to tell them like, hey, this product is on back order, and this product, it's gonna take a month. It's gonna take 2 months to get in stock. Do you want to keep your order? Do you still want it? I'm gonna be honest with you. 99% of the time, they're gonna say yes, they want to keep it because they want that product and they want it for a reason. So they're gonna say, yeah, I'm down to wait. That's fine, right? So just make sure you communicate. That's all you need with back order products is communication. And I promise you, you'll be fine with back order products. I've sold them. It depends on how I feel if I still sell them. Sometimes I stay away from them. Sometimes I'll still sell them depending on how long the wait is, and depending on who the supplier is. Don't be slow on the phone or email. Add a return policy for every supplier. You can use the app Easy Tabs to do this. Don't break MAP policy. Track your profit and track your profit and loss accurately in a spreadsheet. This is important because again, you want to know how much money you're making each month, and you're gonna want to sell your store, right? You want to sell. I teach that in the course too on how to sell your store. I was able to sell my store for 6 figures net profit, right? And the thing they asked me when I sold my store is they asked me for all of the things, all my P&Ls, right? So they wanted to see the last 12 months of the P&L to see how much I was making. And when you go to sell your store, whatever you use, whether it's Flippa or um, anything you use, they're gonna ask you they're gonna give you a P&L and they're gonna have you fill it out basically. And then you want to save for taxes, and you want to pay your sales and use tax. Sales and use tax is not going to be that much, because it's only for the state you're in. So yeah, you want to clean books from day one. Like I said, track everything from the start so you never have to go backwards. You will thank me later. Profit and loss spreadsheet, update that as you go. Clean books are what makes the store sellable. So if you're like, oh, I'm not gonna keep clean books, I know I'm making 20,000, 30,000 a month, I'm not gonna do it. Man, when you go to sell your store and you don't have clean books, that is going to make your store worth a lot less. You still probably be able to sell it, but people don't even know what they're getting. So it's gonna make your valuation go down, and it's probably gonna make it harder to sell that store. And you're gonna have to go backwards. You're gonna have to go backwards for that entire last 12 months. Not even 12 months. They're probably gonna want to see the whole, like the entire time the store was active. They're gonna want to see month to month since you started the store, how many sales you've gotten each month and what the trend is in the store. Where was it at from the start of the store till now? And they're gonna want to see that. So you're gonna have to go backwards. And boy, that's gonna be, yeah. Just just listen to what I'm saying to you. I'm telling you, sales and use tax paid quarterly or monthly, whichever applies to you. It's different for everyone. It's like usually if you're under a certain amount of revenue per month, it's quarterly, and then as you start making more money, usually they make you pay it monthly. So at first you'll probably pay quarterly, and then this is about taxes. Nothing could be certain except death and taxes. Conclusion: don't chase job, chase skills. I always say this. Well, everyone pretty much says it. A phenomenal first business. I think this is. You get business relationships. You get negotiated on real terms, so you understand that. You understand talking to customers on the phone every week, so you understand how to talk to people, and how to conduct business relationships. You learn marketing, so you learn Google Ads and just all types of advertising. You learn how to build websites and optimize them. You learn CRO. I mean, you learn this is, I think, a great business for a beginner. And if you want to do e-com and Shopify dropshipping, I think this is the best model to do. I'll be honest. And then you want to have skills that transfer. Once again, plumbing is a solid job, but if you ever hate it, deep knowledge of plumbing doesn't transfer to marketing, sales, or business building. So anything you're thinking about doing, even if it's not high ticket, make sure it has transferable skills. You know what I mean? So for instance, this model: ads, copy, offer sites, advertising, copywriting, offer creation, website optimization, sales psychology. All of it applies to any business, any product, any niche. Knowing how to close a supplier on the phone, that's sales, right? It's cold calling. It's selling yourself to a company to work with, talking to a customer on the phone and getting the sale. Once again, learning how to talk to customers and drive sales, right? So jobs expire, skills compound. And that's why I chose this game, because once you master it, you're never starting from zero again. And if you want to skip years of trial and error, I did build a school, like I said previously, that covers everything I just shared in actual detail and in depth. I give you templates, outreach scripts, ad breakdowns. New videos are always being added, so you can you know, go in there, and videos are updated monthly and weekly, depending on what I feel like can help you and give you value. You can also ask me questions in there. You can message me in there and ask me questions. You can have me look at your store, and I can look at your store and make sure it's set up correctly. If you watch the video on when I break down my store that I made, then you won't even need me to look at your store, because you just copy everything I'm doing and you'll be good. But yeah, you can also send me your store and I can look at it and I can tell you like, hey, change this, change this. You can ask me, hey, are these suppliers good? Hey, is this niche good? And I can help you, in there as well. And then you can also request for videos to be made in there as well. I still do high ticket to this day. So anything I'm learning in my high ticket business, I will put in the course, you know, with updates and things like that. And also on this channel, right? So yeah, this is the school I wish I had when I started. It has 87 plus videos and counting. Um, Real ad campaign breakdowns. I take you into my ad account and show you inside of my actual ad account from in the store that I sold and that I made the 2.7 million in. I show you that exact ad account. So I go in that exact ad account and I show you like how I scale in the ad account. I show you when to cut something, when to run something. I teach you how to choose the suppliers. I teach you like what products to pick for that supplier, because your supplier price list, it's going to have like thousands of products usually. When a supplier gives you their price list, I teach you like, yo, these are the ones you focus on. These are the ones you don't focus on. So I teach you everything inside the school. Literally everything I know about high ticket is in that school. It's only $97 a month. It's worth way more than $97. I was gonna sell it for a lot more, but the link is in the description if you want to learn more about that. On this channel, like I said, I'm still running high ticket stores. So on this channel, you can subscribe. Tell me what you'd like to see next. On this channel, I'll have everything high ticket, case studies, different videos I think could be helpful for you. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Click the link in the description to go to my school. Subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you want to see, what you want me to make a video about. If there's anything in this video that didn't make sense, leave a comment below. Tell me and I can maybe go in depth on that topic. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is how you can make your first 10K and high ticket drop shipping. And I will see you in the next video.